where the Supreme Court is expected ruling, but that didn't go in his favor, and now we've gotten to the point where the Supreme Court is expected to give some final ruling.
You keep making that mistake. I'm the majority that stop it.
Yeah.
No, stop it. I will continue to correct you. Stop misreporting. I am the majority leader. Don't say no, say it. You've been saying it consistently, and I've been correcting you. The court has pronounced. Stop describing me as leader of MPP caucus. You should know better.
So, Nana, there you have it. Alexander Penyumaki, I'm clearly not happy with the description.
That you should know better.
So, Nana, there you have it. Alexander Penyumaki, I'm clearly not happy with the description with the description that's been widely reported in the media as leader of the MPP caucus. According to him, he still remains the majority leader, and there's been no set project. There's been no set. Yeah, but yeah, young man.
I'm be a kwaba edi about the Punch TV. Message so be share video edi ama me ama foforo nya bia hwe no hu ne yekoso e wo man Ghana ene ne yechekuleti e wo social media no eso media ne akere broni de bia nsem no foforo ba na ba se de bia me de me ka me se ade ye che e beda be sore ya nti asem no na che se enye ti de bia nsem foforo ba na be ba wo social media no so ne ba the Punch TV ye de bibia e trodo ye be fa say video asem na nipa ne kan yo say dey sitie na ene beba beka na emom no ye nyi bi mfrim ye mfa bi enka ho ekura eti say ope ensem dey betwa go social media ne so ana dey ege ne ho me na e wo media ne so aye no kura nkwa dey a meso so be me subscribe button ne so na subscribe to your YouTube channel no eye the Punch TV say dey be ya post video a onsusu be nya notification no wa hwe bi e dey amame e ma were mfi so say obe share video no obe like afi wadwenkyere no waja no comment section hono edi amame ama metimi aba abekenkan edi ama
no na yane emranim ni lawyer owusu agiman etwe nkomo emisan se sadia verdict no akono sa na nani da kwan se beko anase bibi achia ewomu lawyer mpacho so timenka ma ha emo akwa baba TVXYZ Power FM so ewo nkran ha mepacho sadia atemu ikwei no chesemu na moye emranim fo amote asie ye sadia kwa ne sa na ewo se kwa na
that's in ba ewie wa frame ene wo bisami na magine eye Mr. Supreme Court and Connie State na mum the gbagbe eye or parliament say o inform say sa and nine almost free party na o mu eko emumiensa eko independent na emuba kunso free independent join the party bi enam senti almost I vacant na magni say Supreme Court ebegi atumsa imagine nyeme that say Supreme Court enyin tumsa because Madikaya can say MPP for after your marking our case in no court that day almost Anna speaker Michael Quay ewo ya almost the crata command speaker Michael Quay so on declare for Mina MP. Sabrenon no independent, only declare the seat vacant. And as a speaker, no, AS Ejumano, Emma Womo. Sanko Foya so, assign the Krata, Ekoma, speaker, Abambabini, say, Ajoa Safo. And call parliament for more than 15 days until one declare the seat vacant. I am one says Sabrano man found Supreme Court to an court to be as they declare a Joasafo seat vacant. Speaker Korea and all Mukoye. If you are Mudabia or Mupasa declare for seat vacant. They must Speaker Hornea or Mode or Mukrata echo. Na we are Uncle Yama or Munu. I know they are almost a woman. The speaker, every declare seat be vacant or mum panic. Where TVghana for you, I say, I think before any power cannot correct. Almost cannot correct TVghana for, and now almost can we. And Yama or Modia, no more cars and Fufro. And I a Supreme Court on so. Then you all Ghana. Yati, a baby, a chamqua, in Cherikra, National Security Minister, Gandapa, Eba Bonte, Eba Transfer, the Supreme Court, they say, Abaya some and MPP Assembly, the cop or more anymore. No, Mabuya, Edama, MPP, Abine. Ama and Crawford. That's an accord to no area, Ghana. Yeah, or no Kandapa, and in the national security or my Imunu. Sa Adena, the Supreme Court, a threat to national security. Your Ghana, who you pay somewhere far buying who could do court to Supreme Court to Tanasia, or Muyani Benuma, or Munina, or Muyan Soma, or Munina, now Atwa some naturally. Emma, or Mubinya DB, Yaya Fro, unanimous 7. Yeah, says the sergeant, a shank of 14. Ama, the Supreme Court, my dikayaka, sir, and non quani Supreme Court, a warrior say, ha. As someone far by who, sir, Ghana for your birth certificate. And Chirabia, Ghana Nibia will free, so a Ghana. Supreme Court on Ghana, Supreme Court on Ghana, warrior, I declare, sir, birth certificate. And to mean Chirabia. Ghana need be if you saw a Ghana now when you're Ghana. If we are seeing a young one at this hour, if we are seeing a my bay 200 cano, but we are birth certificate. Oh, that's what a threat Nipano say, Ufi or my wim, and now if you're my wim. Now, interesting thing what Ghana Hannes birth certificate. Yes, you mean Trebia. So be a Ghana now when you're Ghana. Birth certificate in an Okoji passport. Omoji FSO. Ya say, oh, 1 million Cassie. Ya Ghana ha, Umami a Ghana ni, Upapa a Ghana ni, 80 also a Ghana ni, near the show passport to Numusa. So, 80 the American costing in answer. The Supreme Court. O mama Gidia, a war moon, a far 10 who Achia, a month for new or moon. Nansan the report to be about Bonte. Yeah, treasure. Ghana for a nipa, a Gidia, a war Supreme Court Munu. And I a judiciary Munu. And I temu a Juma Munu. A swati or hanchemu a biasa. Ya you see, ya no Muguas and woman now or marking Kayo. Sir, I'm bound for Gidia war Munu, a swati, Abba from or Hanchemu a biasa. And so, almost a sign a one or Mugina, the home bayama, baby a month for a Gidia, a few or Munu, and one or Mugusa or Moya. Now, okay, almost here, no near friend in democracy.
Yo,
lawyer,
Yo, na yambusa sa dia ekwosu no. Sa omutwa de owura makoko etwa ye. Ne nia Supreme Court aye no. Ebenya nsunsun so twa ka boni bi awe atentre ne nsam amanga ne mu ana.
No na machre say. Atentre ni say abaya wo ni national security minister say atentre ni enkoso e wo Ghana afi se da bia abaya se bia abaya dibim abaya de ni foda ne basa enye a threaten national security nti wa sama ubisa mi ensunsan so a ebenya e wo Ghana ne se your security ana ya hu bambo under threat because a nipa bi ebeye o madwin say oh me dey asem no court to cry o mo nka mame da bia o mbeka ma aban nso bia na aban ACC ni dis ana tia mame mfa mara nhye me nsem eno na kam da pa ka ho asem no say a threat to national security
Yo
nti atemwa o mumu ni ye no na da bia e kofa akono bi betimi dia ba no
no Supreme Court sisi ana ekotie ne ekoso we will come back na fe yeah so ekoboso.
There leaves no room for any argument whatsoever, and the majority decision, very big majority, clear majority, 5-2. It's not as if it was a narrow majority, 3-4 or 4-3, that anyone can say, well, there's some room for kind of review or anything at all. But the point I'm making is that whenever the court speaks, it's such a clear and emphatic order. Even if it's a very narrow majority, that's the decision of the court, and that decision must be respected. And I'm saying that it will result in a degeneration of our society and a destruction of our democratic order for anybody at all to refuse to comply with orders of the Supreme Court. And I think that's non-negotiable. It's something that we must all respect. I've heard some statements by certain political actors to the effect that the case ought to be withdrawn and that there ought to be negotiation and all that. I'm quite surprised because indeed, firstly, I did not hear such expression of a willingness to negotiate and all, or maybe such instruction to the speaker or direct suggestion to the speaker for negotiation and all, when the speaker started embarking on this act. And I think that, for me, it's very important that the Supreme Court ruled upon this matter, because it is something that had been occurring in this country. The tendency for it to occur really was there. The tendency for it to occur again was there. So it's necessary, or it was necessary, that the Supreme Court came to this clear conclusion and determination of the matter, the meaning of Article 97, Clause 1, paragraphs G and H. And I think we must all respect it.
What do you expect to happen in Parliament?
I think the Speaker of Parliament himself, to start with, indicated in his address to the press last week that the case raised very serious legal issues. Those were serious legal issues and matters bordering on governance in the country. And first, so I must express my shock, utter shock, at this refusal to even file a process. If indeed the Speaker of Parliament himself recognized that the matter raised serious legal issues, as he said to the media last week, where else would you address legal issues but in the court of law? Where else would you have such a definitive pronouncement on the so-called serious legal issues that the Speaker himself recognized in his press statement, done by the Supreme Court of Ghana? So as for the Speaker of Parliament, indeed, is law-abiding. I've known him for a very long time to comply with the decision of the Supreme Court. As I said, it is non-negotiable in every civilized society. When an order of the court is given, no matter how highly placed or lowly placed the court is, even if it's a magistrate's court, you have to obey until it is set aside.
Having seen the conclusion of this matter, would you say as an Attorney General that there's a need for a constitutional review?
What does it relate to this? The American Constitution itself, very thin, as we all know. Yet, that Constitution has survived over 200 years. I think that, of course, there are certain provisions in the Constitution that I think that ought to be amended, and I've expressed my views on it to the media. Article 78, Clause 1, which enjoins the President to appoint majority of his ministers from Parliament, ought to be amended. There ought to be that flexibility. I think that certain institutions, for example, the Electoral Commission, NCC, and what have you, the appointment of their heads has to be with the prior approval of Parliament. But I do not think that it calls for a complete overhaul of the Constitution. And indeed, this Constitution is very strong. And it is one Constitution which even goes as far as prescribing consequences of a failure to carry out the Supreme Court order. The Supreme Court order, the consequences are set out clearly in Article 2, clauses 3, 4, and 5 of the Constitution, that any person to whom an order of the Supreme Court is directed shall duly carry out same. And a failure to carry out such an order, of course, has the consequences of a criminal punishment. In the case of the president, will even result in the president and vice president will result in removal from office.
And finally, do you expect the Speaker of Parliament to report Parliament on his own position after this ruling, given that the court has spoken in such a manner?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, as I said, it's an emphatic determination by the court on the matter, and the Speaker of Parliament has no option but to comply. I mean, I think that we must stop giving with one hand and taking with the other. As I said, it will amount to double standards and an exercise in contradiction for the Speaker of Parliament in his address to the media say that the case raises such serious legal issues and matters bordering on governance and all that, and then refuse to take back. So this country refuse to take part in the proceedings. I think in this country we must recognize some people for who they are and what they do. This hypocrisy and double standards must cease. The Supreme Court is the final arbiter on all matters in the country, including an interpretation of the Constitution. Indeed, it's the only court solely seeks registration to pronounce on the meaning of relevant provisions of the Constitution. And the Constitution means what the Supreme Court says it means, and nothing more. It is the same in America, and as I said, America, United Kingdom, and all advanced democracies, that is the order that they respect. There's no way a Supreme Court would give a decision in America or United Kingdom, and then the Prime Minister, apart from expressing his disagreement with the decision, or the President of America, of course he has the freedom of expression to express his disagreement with the decision, but he has no option but to comply, and they usually comply, and that is it.
Attorney General, many have said that this decision or this judgment was to be expected, and that the judiciary seemed to be in bed with the executive. Can you address that?
I mean that. So first of all, some principles of law have been established well over decades. There is no principle of law argued in this matter which has not been established in this country. And indeed, if that's the case, then any case mounted which has in play those principles will be determined the same way. So I think that if there's indeed the rule of law, an element of it is predictability. It's not a case where a court of law will rule this way on account of the same principle of law, but rule another way on account of the same principle. So indeed there must be some element of predictability. And I'm saying that indeed these principles that we contended with in this matter are old principles. There's nothing new. And for those who are saying the court is acting in a certain way and all that, the same people were those who were rejoicing when the Court of Appeal gave a decision acquitting their leader. Their leader was acquitted by the Court of Appeal. They were happy with it. And to date, he's able to make all those arguments in Parliament because he has been acquitted. And I did not raise any issue with that back to appeal. I did not say I'm not going to respect the decision of the court. I respect the decision of the court, and until the decision is set aside by a higher court, which is the Supreme Court, that decision will remain binding on all. So we must stop this hypocrisy and exercises in contradiction. As I said, that when our reaction or attitude to court rulings depends on how palatable we deem it. We cannot react to decisions based on how palatable we deem it, and that's exactly what is happening. Thank you very much. Metro.
All right, so the Supreme Court of the land, by 5-2 decision, released a speaker declaration, say oyi ekofo 9 or declare mo sit ni vacant no unconstitutional. Yeah, come back to me interview we. Very unfortunate. Very, very unfortunate. Yeah,
to the point where the Supreme Court is expected ruling, but that didn't go in his favor, and now we've gotten to the point where the Supreme Court is expected to give some final ruling.
You keep making that mistake. I'm the majority. No, stop it. I will continue to correct you. Stop misreporting. I am the majority leader. Don't say, no, say it. You've been saying it consistently, and I've been correcting you. The court has pronounced. Stop describing me as leader of MPP caucus. You should know better.
So, Nana, there you have it. Alexander Penyumaki, I'm clearly not happy with the description.
That you should know better.
So, Nana, there you have it. Alexander Penyumaki, I'm clearly not happy with the description with the description that's been widely reported in the media as leader of the MPP caucus. According to him, he still remains the majority leader, and there's been no set project. There's been no set. Young man, wait. For the purpose of education.
Taking one after the other. Munya would say. Esantroni Eyena Juma reporting from the Supreme Court as a journalist. The so-called minority or majority leader. Bonnie did say or no, and the leader of the NPP caucus because the Asana Yaka was no that's what Supreme Court a judge for NKA. Then a member of parliament who calls himself the leader confront the journalist to warn him, to tell him, say, man from me because what can I feel with you? I'm a minority leader. Really? On live on television? Really? Really? Then this man confronts the journalist and make him feel like onka to his favor. Now all ring just say, hey, I feel market there. Oh wow, okay, that's oh boy. But I love the fact that the journalist said, according to him, or no, and also so a majority leader. And for once, bravo. The journalist stood on his grounds to tell you, the member of parliament, by virtue of the fact that you're MP, and then no be the of parliament, and then no who's a from majority leader, a minority leader. Now, assembly will quarterly and Kenya. What to me, I could draw a confronted journalist and say, "Oh, cut to your favor." I mean, what level of impunity is this? What level of impunity is this? Except 20 Jan now so. Eka say, oh, now what's yes, oh, now you're majority leader, but only your who, sir. According to him, according to Afenyo Marcus, also a majority leader. Because that is what he says. That is what he's heard. And the matter is still before the Supreme Court. So why would you confront the none of the decent 20 term rough from Basa? I mean, what level of impunity? I said arrogance or power. Arrogance or power. Just because you are a leader, you hold a microphone and you talk to journalists, you talk to people as if they are nobody. Hey, Thréhérnt Israel. Thréhérnt Israel. Because you cannot tell me. Say because of 2 me kakraya Ghana for panel who am also MP. Eti Ghana for Tonyum Flow. It's a job for Tonyum Flow. Obi akasa hey, Obi akasa now so the minute, Obi akasa now did not Obi akasa now yes. Please, that does not make you a leader. That does not make you a leader and will never make you a leader. In any case, and Supreme Court didn't verdict remember. Minim nebesi. And I am number beka. But the Kobani sa. Dear Abe, yet of video the show.
Majority leader, don't say no, say it. You've been saying it consistently, and I've been correcting you. The court has pronounced. Stop describing me as leader of MPP caucus. You should know better.
So, Nana, there you have it. Alexander Penyumaki, I'm clearly not happy with the description with the description that's been widely reported in the media as leader of the MPP caucus. According to him, he still remains the majority leader, and there's been no set project. There's been no set. Young man,
wait. For the purpose of education, the speaker made a pronouncement. The court has ruled. You have lawyers at City. I don't know your experience in reporting, but once a court has made a pronouncement to restore the status quo, don't say that I am saying. You as a reporter, there has been 2 rulings confirming that. So don't continue to describe me as leader of MPP caucus. Is that okay? Don't tell the public that I am claiming and that you don't know what it, unless you don't know why you are doing court reporting.
I know why I'm doing court reporting.
So and you clarify.
Yeah, but I've mentioned it clearly in previous reports and in subsequent reports that you are the leader of the MPP caucus of the House, and even the Speaker of Parliament. You know, so Nana clearly Alexander Penyumaki interrupting my report here, clearly raising issues, not too happy.
Okosu yese ya na eframe huto sa obeti wedi so. Why did you give up? Na kese okosu now o challenging the journalists. Why did you give up? Now if you look, we will expose you because opekasa nzebe mu akasa no wadi wani so. Opekasa nzebe mu akasa sa obedi wani so. Hey, this is a simple matter. Supreme Court cry nyamfa verdict cry asasumaye. O say chinchine try. Now only leader of the MPP caucus. Why are leader of the MPP caucus? 4 years. Say 3 years or say 4 years. You didn't say Konyaso as the majority leader. You are from majority leader, sir, and now some about who you are from leader of the MPP caucus. I say, hey, what that? Open up. I mean, is that better? Okay. 20 days. I cut 24 to 25 days. Of what benefits? And Ghana for Benya say you're from majority leader. My young emphasis dear Bako pair. Just one pair. Obey majority leader. My young emphasis dear Bako pair. You're Ghana for your fruit. So as a majority leader, just give me one. Just give me one. Just one.
Therefore, so and semi the debia a bit gu social media so. Name no pe the no cre nkansah dia and the mistress of subscribe to your YouTube channel no. The Punch TV. Me a subscribe button say who hear me ye pa. Say the be and send be a best security media so no. Eba ni post ya unsu be notification. The when you be a share a day ama me. Mesro, so be share video amafo fro enya bi ahwe. Obi wa manone anase Ghana ha krampa obetimi enya bi ahwe e de ama me afa nso ma we mfise wo be like o comment a eye wadwen kire no so then no comment section e fa ma me let me timi mekenkan emfa emam the opesa wo twire bi a wo de twire to no ba be kenkan kama e de ama o channel ni din e de the Punch TV yankasa so ye frame a kire broni makrao